Today I'm going to show you how to change the CPU Miis in Wii Sports. I've been getting a lot of questions on how to modify the CPUs in Wii Sports. Figuring out how to modify the CPUs requires a lot of deep digging, and there hasn't been really a dedicated video on this particular subject, so hopefully this video will help people who are struggling to modify the CPUs in Wii Sports. If you want to look at this transcript I already have, good for you. If you want to follow along with the YouTube transcript, that's great. If you want to listen to me, you're more an auditory learner, that's great. We'll do whatever works for you. Alright, with that out of the way, here's some prerequisites for modifying Wii Sports. So, you'll need an ISO of Wii Sports. I'm not going to tell you how to obtain one. I assume you already have one for the purposes of this video. This tutorial assumes you have an ISO on your PC already, and it also assumes you have it set up in Dolphin Emulator. There are plenty of other videos on the subject, but this is not the video for that. You will also need Dolphin Emulator. It is a free emulator for Wii and GameCube games. I primarily use it for a lot of Wii games. I modify a ton of games, a lot of them being on the Wii. So I have my Dolphin emulator all set up. I have my Dolphin directory all set up. And if you use the most recent version of Dolphin emulator, it comes with a Revolution patch support, which is what you would use on a normal base Wii. Alright, next up is C-Tools. So C-Tools, a quick Google search for C-Tools should do the trick. C-Tools is an SES modifier. You just hit download. I've already downloaded C-Tools. It's really easy. It's not a virus or anything. It's just allows you to modify certain types of game files. Primarily, we'll be using the SES tool to modify the CARC files, C-A-R-C files, that we will be using for this video. Fourth, you'll need HXD hex editor. You just do a search for HXD. You will need this for modifying the order of the CPUs in Wii Sports. And then with that, you'll need a knowledge of hexadecimal numbers and how they operate. HXD uses hexadecimal numbers, which will trip a lot of newcomers up. You can use whatever hex editor you like. It doesn't have to be HXD, but I use HXD. And this tutorial assumes you have HXD hex editor. It uses base 16 instead of base 10, so 10 in decimal would be 08 in hexadecimal. I have made a hexadecimal to decimal template specifically for use in Wii Sports. But yeah, so base 10 to base 16, all you really need to do, say you want 10, it will convert to A, because with decimal, it goes from 0 to 9. From hexadecimal, it goes from 0 to 15, with A taking the place of what 10 would be, and then 0 be for 11, and so on and so forth. You just have to do these calculations yourself if you want to really understand the basics of, base 16 versus base 10. Alright, 6 up you'll need is My Avatar Editor. A quick Google search for My Avatar Editor should do the trick. So what you'll need to do is just follow all the instructions on this website, My Avatar Editor. I've done it. I've done all the steps. It's worked for me. It shouldn't have any issues for anybody. So it's a fan-made program that is used to make Miis. You can export them into a JPEG, a PNG, or more importantly, a .ma binary file. The binary files are what Wii Sports uses to read the CPU Mii data. Now, Wii Sports uses .rcd for its Mii game files. .mae and .rcd are exactly the same file. You just need to modify the extension in order for it to work. I've also had my avatar editor work directly with .rcd files, and it works the same. Alright. Now we're going to move on to the actual modding part of the game. So, we're going to go, this tutorial assumes you have your game set up in Dolphin Emulator. So we're going to go to Wii Sports, right click, Properties, move all the way to File System. This is Data Partition, RSP E01. RSP is the internal name for Wii Sports. E is English and 01 is revision 1. Right click on that. Click on Extract Files. And then we're going to extract them. I have a folder called Extracted Video Games. And as you see, I've already extracted all the files of Wii Sports. But for the sake of this video, I'm going to extract them again. So Wii Sports extracted to, and then just extract them all here. And then when we open up Wii Sports extracted to, that is all of our extracted files appear here. Oh, that's nice and convenient. I highly recommend creating a backup of your files, just in case something goes wrong and you need the original files back. I already have the original game files extracted already, unmodified. I did this a while ago. It looks exactly the same. Alright. So we're now going to modify the CPU Miis in Wii Sports. So first we're going to modify the avatar, and for the purpose of this video I'm going to modify, I'm going to replace Matt with this Waluigi Mii I made. So I have a Waluigi.rcd, opening him up. So I'm going to show you what Mii I am putting into this game. So here's Waluigi. So now we're going to go to Wii Sports extracted -2, common, sports static, common.cart. Alright. I have this set to automatically open with the SES tool. So you just open up with the SES tool that you should have downloaded from the CTools website. So now in this game's file system, we have the folders, the data files, and then image and effect files. We're not going to worry about image and effect files in this video. We're just going to worry about the CPU Mii folder and this CPU data.bin. The CPU data.bin contains the orders in which the CPU Miis appear in the game. We will modify this later. Right now we're going to go into CPU Mii, and as you can see, there's the CPU Mii underscore number.rcd from 0 all the way to 59 because there are 60 Miis in Wii Sports. And as you can see, each of these Miis corresponds with the Mii that is used in the game. So we got 0 is going to be Saburo, 01 is Hiroshi, 02 is Daisuke, all the way to number 59 is Lucia. So we're going to replace Matt because Matt is visible in both tennis and baseball. So Matt's ID is 24. So we're going to go back into SES tool, scroll down to CPU Mii underscore 024.rcd. We're going to export here. Export wherever it's convenient for you. We're then going to go back. I'm going to show you that this is actually Matt. It is Matt. Nice. Alright. So now we're going to replace with Waluigi. The game will automatically rename the Mii for you, so you don't have to worry about that. So now you just hit File, Save, and that's it. Now the names, as far as the names are concerned, they are stored in a different file than the CPU Mii avatar. If you want to modify a CPU Mii, you should change the name as well, otherwise it's going to have the other Mii's name in the game. So, go to US, message, message.carc, you'll see commonmessage.bmg and sportsmessage.bmg. Open sportsmessage.bmg and scroll down till you see the CPU Mii names. So we replaced Matt. Here's Matt. Let's give it now Waluigi. File save. File save. Save your files, because then that way it will show up in game. Alright, so now we're going to take this. We're going to move it to the Dolphin Revolution folder area. Mine is called Load. So I'm going to now rename this folder WS Test. So we're now going to open up a Wii Sports. Alright, so now we'll just patch ID. Make sure your patch ID is different from all others' IDs. Make sure your root matches the folder that you're pointing to. So WS test, there's that. Now let's go into Wii Sports. Start with Revolution patches. If you're using the latest version of Dolphin, it should have that feature enabled. So open Revolution XML. We're going to go into WS test. Start. There you go. Waluigi now appears in-game. Alright. Alright, let's go to baseball because we can see Matt there too. Of course, you would normally see Matt. Let's see if the new custom CPU appears. Hey, there he is.
Play ball. Foul ball. Time out.
All right. So now you can see an example of that working in game. All right. So now for the second part of this video, I'm going to show you how to modify the order of the CPUs. The CPUs are in a set order in the game. But you know, you probably want to customize it to have your own particular order. And luckily this isn't that difficult to do if you are familiar with hexadecimal. If you're familiar with hexadecimal, this shouldn't be terribly difficult. I mean, but yeah, so we're gonna go into the command .carc from earlier. Remember the CPU data.bin? So this is the file used to edit the order of the Miis. So export CPU data.bin wherever's convenient for you. I'm just speaking fast. Alright. So you see CPU data.bin, open it with HXD. I highly recommend navigating to bytes per row, changing that to 40. And that way it shows all of the CPU Miis data files all lined up. You'll see a lot of zeros. I highly recommend not modifying the ones that have only zeros in them, but the ones that have like 1s or 2s or 1B, they correspond to data in this sheet. So the first set of column corresponds to dominant baseball batting arm. Second corresponds to dominant pitching arm and throwing style. For instance, if they're pitching overhand or sidearm, that can also be modified as well, but I'm not going to delve into that into this video. Baseball strength. This is the order in which the Miis appear in baseball. So this puts so remember Elisa is the worst Mii in baseball. Her strength is 59. That's in decimal. In hexadecimal, 59, it's going to be 3B. So that's how it's going to show up in our file. Yeah, Elisa is the worst, so there's that. Then this corresponds to like boxing things, so like dominant boxing arm, like right or left-handed. Yeah, I'll be linking this spreadsheet in the video probably, and you can see all of what this stuff means in the spreadsheet. So there, if you want to pause, just look at all this. It's cool. Yep. Then we have boxing strength. How good the Miis are in boxing. An interesting thing about boxing though. The original game has a lot of Miis that were unused. There really isn't an official theory as to why this is the case. But a lot of Miis are in fact unused. So Ryan, ID number 22, he is the worst Mii in boxing. So his strength is 38, and anything under 38 just will not be seen in game. This is boxing specific only. So just keep that in mind when you're modifying orders for boxing. Currently, there's not a way to get all 59 Miis visible in the game. It will just have every Mii down to Ryan, anything under a skill of 38. In hex it's 26 or 26. That will not be visible in the game. Mii group ID. If you really want to go all out and make a cool mod, you can modify this to whatever you want, but functionally it's not necessary. Same with Mii region ID and Mii gender. Yeah, the Mii gender here, the game actually reads the gender off the data file that you imported, so you don't need to worry about this gender column at all. Dominant arm for tennis. Again, this is just, you can modify their dominant arm to right or left-handed. Tennis strength is all this stuff. It's the order in which the Miis appear in tennis, which is pretty cool. So yeah, we're going to focus on baseball strength, boxing strength, and tennis strength. So alright, so I'm going to do this just for you guys. Alright, so we can take all these Miis. So if you're curious as to what that was, I am making a mod of Wii Sports called Wii Sports. It basically just features Waluigi as the champion. He's a champion of all sports, and everything is Waluigi themed. So yeah, it is kind of a silly mod that I made. I'm currently making it right now. And if you really want to know how I got Waluigi in the game, I took Takumi out of the game because the game doesn't support adding these, just replacing. Yeah, Takumi was taken out by popular demand, blah, blah, blah. Alright, so now we have everything in place, right? This spreadsheet, I can link this to you in the description if you need it. So, let's change the order. Let's change Sakura and Elisa. So, let's make Sakura 59 and find Elisa. Elisa is now rank 0. So now Sakura will be the beginner and Elisa will be the champion, right? In boxing, let's switch Matt, but we've replaced him with Waluigi now. Let's replace Matt with Ryan. Yeah, so 38, 0. Yes. Just make sure that every value is inputted exactly once for these skill orders, because I've done it where it's happened twice, where I've had two of the same skills twice and the game crashed. So don't crash the game. Alright. And let's modify the tennis ranking to put yeah, let's put Elisa on the bottom, and let's put Miyu on top. So where's Miyu? There's Miyu. 53. We just gotta make Miyu level rank 0. Alright. Now let's open up this file with HXD. So yeah, so this spreadsheet is just easy for me to work off the files. It just makes it easier for me to see everything in HXD, but but this doesn't actually do anything in HXD. We actually have to just put this in ourselves. So we put 0, 0 for Elisa, and we go up to wherever Sakura was. We can't have two 0, 0s in the game, so there we are. And now 3B. Nice. Make sure to save the file so that it records our changes. Alright, next. We replaced Matt and Ryan, right? Waluigi and Ryan? Oh, Waluigi and Ryan, okay. So 0, 0 and 26. Another thing about boxing. is that if you're going to have the boxing trainer is going to use Mii ID 24, not the highest strength value. Tennis uses the highest strength value as the coach, but for boxing, the coach is always set to Mii ID 24. So keep that in mind when making your games, because if you want the boxing coach and the boxing champion to be the same person, it must be at 24. If you want them to be different people, then do whatever you wish. Alright, so now we modified the tennis to put Miu at top. So we gotta find wherever Miu had before. 12. That's the hex value Miu had. 12, 35. We go 0, 0. And then we will go wherever Lisa was, and we replace it with the new hex value, which in this case is 35. Save. Replace with the new modified version of that file. And then we have to go back. Since we modified it here, we have to go back and put it in the tests that we just did. And start with Revolution patches. Yeah, so there's also this thing called Save as Preset. It just allows you to save the game as a preset, which is why I have Wii Sports and Super Luigi Land Wii in my game list, because I saved it as a preset. Alright, so now let's start the game. Let's test these changes to see if they work in game. Hey, there's a Waluigi and a Lisa. Alright. It says the baseball one to make sure it works. Oh, we have Sakura. Ain't that nice?
Time out.
I never modified it all originally for Wii, so now we took Sakura and moved her down.
Play ball. Time out.
Boxing's kind of annoying because you gotta have a nunchuck, and that's how you do that. You gotta have a nunchuck on, start that run. I'm using the emulated Wii remote. It's just, I can do a real Wii remote, but oh look, there's Waluigi. Oh yeah. CPU Miis 24 also gets the silver gloves, so that's why he's wearing the silver gloves. Show what I was talking about with the boxing coach. So we use ID 24, but as you can see, Waluigi is no longer the champion, so it's not just Cody who's the champion. He was a beginner of the game, and yet he's the boxing coach. So you can see it's coded to 24. And then let's just see who's there for tennis. Hey, it's Miu, the champion. Alright. Alright, so that was it for modifying the CPU Miis in Wii Sports. Hopefully you learned something from this video, and hopefully this video provides a nice and convenient way for you to put in custom CPUs in Wii Sports. Hope to see you soon. Have a great day.